The following fight is scheduled for 3 rounds of action in the middleweight division. And the winner will be awarded the Super Belt. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner and representing Bellator. He's a wrestling specialist and stands 6 feet 1 inches tall. He weighed in officially at 185.5 pounds and holds a perfect, undefeated record of 17 victories and no defeats. Fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida by way of Kansas City, Missouri. He is the reigning Bellator middleweight champion, Johnny Pressure Eblen. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner and representing PFL. He is a striking specialist and stands 6 feet tall. He weighed in officially at 185.8 pounds and holds a record of 15 wins and 3 losses. Fighting out of Deerfield Beach, Florida, he is the 2023 PFL Light Heavyweight Champion, Chilobo Impa Kasangany. Referee in charge, Brian Miner.
Brian Miner oversees the co-main event action. Chilobo Impa Kasangany in the yellow trunks.
Johnny, you ready? Impa, you ready?
Johnny Eblen in the white. Right to the center of the smart cage. 2 incredibly fast fighters here. Kasangany coming back down to middleweight. Drives behind a hard right hand. Eblen stays out of the way. Inside kick.
The thing I like about the way that Kasanganay moves forward is as he's punching left to right, he's bringing his feet with him, which means that when people level change, they level change onto square hips, making it a lot more difficult. Oh, that's a nice single leg. Look at that.
Super leg turns the corner. Look at that. Eblen heavy on the legs.
But let's see what Impa's going to do here, guys. Something tells me he's going to do whatever effort and work as hard as it takes to get back up to his feet. And that does change things. A wrestler's got to have a couple of moments on top just to catch his breath.
And this is something that was so interesting about his championship bout. Impa Kasangany was able to defend these takedown attempts. Now, it was Josh Silveira, not Johnny Eblen, but he defended them and never really got fatigued, never got worn out by it, and continued to explode in these situations. There he works back to an underhook and goes chest to chest. He's not all the way out of trouble yet, but he's on his feet.
Notice this frame. Everything's right here. Everything's right here by Impa.
He did a great job there of digging that underhook back into place. You always want to be facing Johnny Eblen if you have to clinch the guy, because as soon as he gets that body lock from behind, you're going for a ride. Oh, that was a good knee.
And Impa's not rattled. He's not discouraged. He's already put that behind him and compartmentalized. I can see it on his face and by his eyes.
Put your right hip on the cage.
I can't imagine the situation where Kasanganay would show any kind of emotion on his face like he's rattled.
Now on
He's
the
a very,
cage.
beautiful movement. A very calculated, intelligent, quietly spoken individual. Knows how to hide his cards very well.
Impa did eat a couple of elbows in that scenario. Johnny said that would be part of his game plan as he switches stances and avoids the combination from Impa.
Now the danger from Eblen now is that because Kasanganay has had to go through that process of getting back to his feet, the threat of the takedown could really open up strikes for Eblen.
Good length on that Eblen jab. He goes back downstairs with a leg kick. Impa's already slowed some of the bouncing of his posture here. And we've seen this theme earlier tonight. The offense from Eblen right now, stymieing some of that offense. We finally see Impa able to unleash a combination. When you force a fighter to stay on the defensive, you don't have as much to worry about coming back. Front kick almost to the forehead there of Eblen.
That was a beautiful little step to the side from Kasanganay.
Nice right hand.
I wonder what the lasting impression in Johnny Eblen's mind was of that first clinch, that moment. Did he think, my goodness, this man's incredibly strong, very difficult to control?
Well, one of the things that we talked about with Johnny Eblen in the fighter meetings is that his cardio is so incredible, and he will pressure you until you break. I mean, his nickname is pressure. But Impa Kasangany appears to have removed that as a possibility these last couple of fights with the level of conditioning he's come into the cage with. So what happens if Johnny Eblen is trying to wear you out and he's not able to? We might find that out tonight. Nice jab from Impa.
And sometimes athletes at this level of conditioning require the 25 minutes to make fatigue a weapon. In 15 minutes, I don't know if either of these guys are going to get tired.
I think Johnny did come away with some respect for Impa's grappling. I don't know if he's going to clinch him or be in a hurry to exert that kind of energy if he feels he can get some moments right here in a pick'em contest.
Twice now we've seen Impa catch Johnny coming in with hooks. Once with the right hand on the sidestep, just then on the left hand. Both fighters starting to get reads off one another. Second time we've seen him try that front kick right up the middle, Dan.
And that's a great deterrent for a level change as well. We remember what Henan Fajeda did to Jones as he level changed onto that shin bone. Good head movement as well by Kasanganay. Oh, that was a good cross.
Beautiful right hand there from Johnny Eblen. Good level change underneath the jab there from Impa.
Impa's starting to get comfortable, fellas.
Yeah,
He's starting to loosen up a little bit.
He really is.
Beautiful body shot, straight right. Uppercut, traded for a right hand.
Hey, Impa's about to steal this round. Johnny's got about 10 seconds here to do something fast and lead the judges.
Nice check hook again. Impa now with the pressure. And then he turns that angle. There from Impa.
He might have just stolen that round, guys.
Yeah.
Wow.
Lovely movement in the pocket.
Impa Kasangany, Johnny Eblen, round number 2, body kick, and then a combination from Impa, who comes out much more aggressive here in the second frame. Impa drops Eblen! Eblen trying to wrestle out of it here, grabs onto that single leg. Impa heavy on the sprawl, got that chin strap.
Got to free himself from that body lock though. Eblen's still dangerous even when he's dropped. Beautiful.
Impa with the uppercut, and now he's got the knee. Johnny Eblen is cranking. Impa Kasangany. He's got Eblen on the back foot here early.
Beautiful slip to a body shot. Nice level change by Eblen though. This is going to buy him a moment. But if Kasanganay can get 3 here, that can really shake the confidence of the undefeated fighter.
Remember, elbows are allowed here, so Johnny Eblen's going to have to be careful about keeping his head out on the side. Impa trying the flying knee as deterrent to this wrestle.
There's the Uriah Faber knee there.
He doesn't like it. Stay heavy. Good job.
This is exhausting as well. And look at Eblen's toes. He's only just postured into a position where he can start to now be offensive.
And look at the way that his chest is heaving as his body, I mean, that's not a good wrestling posture.
Hips in, chest up.
Impa Kasangany staying heavy on the head, making Johnny Eblen carry that weight. And he steps out of another attempt here. Combination. Impa hammering away. Eats an elbow from Eblen, but they continue to swing against the small cage barrier before clinching.
Impa's fought at 205 pounds and had a lot of success. We're seeing that size. We're seeing that strength right now. We're also seeing the fatigue of the weight cut is behind him. This is a guy that did everything right.
No, these wide.
It was a clubbing right hand from Johnny Eblen that came over the top there. He's backing on the legs, but again, he's not in an offensive posture. He's in a hold on and gather my senses posture right now. And if Kasanganay can start to use some of these chopping elbows, these Travis Brown elbows into the side of the head, that could really force Eblen to start to move.
He drops the kick.
Elevation here.
Put your foot on the ground.
Johnny Eblen got both feet off the ground for Impa for just a second, but there's that chopping elbow again. Eblen is very good at buying himself a little bit of space, framing out and hammering that into the side of his opponent's head. Appears to have recovered from whatever punching combinations landed and maybe wobbled Eblen a little bit early as we're halfway through round number 2.
And halfway through the round, right in the middle of the fight here. So we go back to what Mr. Sonnen was saying a moment ago. If Kasanganay won the end of that last round and stole it on the scorecards, what is this round looking like on the scorecards as well? I know, of course, he's in a defensive position here, but very little scoring is being done by Eblen.
Johnny loves that suplex. Impa can't give him the belly to back, and he knows it, trying to grab a Kimura grip on Johnny Eblen's left arm.
My biggest comment to what we're seeing right now by Eblen is good for him. He did not get frustrated with the takedown. Even though he hasn't done a lot to secure them, he's going back to them. He's going back to what he knows well. He's trying to win this fight. And you see, many guys, they check out early. Eblen is still in this contest.
Absolutely. He's not undefeated for a reason. He knows how to win fights. Even when he's on the back foot like he was against Fabian Edwards, he knows how to recover. This is not a good position for Impa. He could potentially be caught in a twister here. I know we don't see them very often, but Eblen's got the right control on that right wrist of Impa Kasangany.
Impa's going to try and get his left hip elevated. Johnny Eblen rides over.
And the thing is, this marauding, balling style that Eblen's got, you don't even have to be fully conscious to be able to do it. He's working on instinct a lot of the time here.
1 minute left in round number 2. A very interesting frame so far. Can Eblen use this last minute to really score some points? Because the early part of this round was all Impa Kasangany, was just going for the lockdown here with those arms.
You get the feeling that Kasanganay feels like he's done enough already to win this round?
Well, you can't ever feel that way, but maybe conserving some energy, because look, we're seeing him, the mouth is actually open. He actually is breathing hard here as Johnny Eblen advances position and goes to work with his left hand.
Yes, keep doing that. Yes, keep going.
And it's interesting math, isn't it? Whether he thinks he's done enough and that's why he's conserving, or if he realizes, I've got to win the next one and therefore I need to conserve. So it's always interesting to hear the corners speak in between rounds.
What an incredible recovery from Johnny Eblen in the second part of that round. But again,
Round 3.
was it enough to sway the judges in his favor after being knocked down? Third and final round here. PFL versus Bellator champs. Impa Kasangany.
He keeps doing that. Eblen standing from a southpaw stance. He's throwing a big left hand, and Kasanganay is weaving underneath it and cracking him in the head with a counter shot.
Look at the recovery from Impa. Mouth is closed again, breathing through his nose. He sees the swelling under Johnny Eblen's eye. He sees the heavy legs. Nice jab. Good movement there from Impa to stay out of range. Really impressive performance from both of these fighters, and that's exactly what we thought we would see.
I would be so curious amongst the athletes how they think the fight is going. Does Eblen believe he needs this? Does Impa believe he needs this? Are we trying to beat each other still, or are we just trying to run out the clock? It's very interesting to me, the psychological side going on in this match right now.
We saw Impa Kasangany in our PFL 2023 season. His left hook is a formidable weapon, and he's landed it several times on Johnny Eblen, who wears it and continues to come forward. Leg kick there. Traded for a couple punches, though. Might not be the winning formula for Impa Kasangany this late in the fight.
He left his head on the center line for that calf kick. I feel like he came off on the worst end of that, especially on the judge's perspective.
Sweeping right hand landed there for Eblen. Eblen still bringing his feet with him when he throws those punches. Nasty combination here from Eblen.
Best punch for Eblen so far of the fight.
Good jab.
Impa's not fighting with urgency. There's two reasons why. Possibly he's fatigued and can't possibly, he thinks he's up 2 rounds to none. I'm only sharing that with you because it could be at any moment now. Impa puts his foot down and tries to steal some points, but he hasn't done it this round yet.
He went for the body shot there with the uppercut. Johnny made him pay with the left hook. Both men scoring in these combinations and these exchanges. Nice movement there. Good slip and rip from Impa Kasangany. Look at the right eye of Johnny Eblen. Jousting jab from Eblen and right hand behind it this time.
This is a much better round for Eblen, this is. Even though he's taking some shots moving forward, he is scoring and he is bullying Impa Kasangany.
Now Impa offers one back and circles out. Impa on the back foot right now. Johnny Eblen, this is the pressure that he talked about.
Yeah, you're seeing that conditioning. You can see it on his face. You can see by the way he's breathing. Eblen is back into the contest.
More than halfway through the round, right around 2 minutes left.
That rollout that he's doing underneath the right hand. He's used it several times already in this fight.
Big John McCarthy, rules expert, legend in the game, has great insight on how these fights are supposed to be scored. John McCarthy, who's winning this fight right now?
I'll tell you what, this fight is anybody's fight right now. You can sit there and say, Impa hurt Johnny in the second round. I'm going to give him that round. I don't care how much Johnny did in coming back. But the first round I was going to give to Johnny Eblen. So right now, this is anybody's fight.
And a huge takedown here with 90 seconds remaining in round number 3. In a razor-close fight, the wrestling for Eblen really comes into play. Controlling that bottom leg of Impa Kasangany. He's got to find a way to get that back to the mat if he wants to stand up.
Eblen was even thinking reversal there. He tried to pull those hips on top.
I think he tried to boss that a little bit too much power. This is much better, but he has given his back. He needs to get that left elbow inside the crook of Johnny Eblen's elbow and turn to face him.
Look here from Johnny Eblen. Now you can see the fatigue on Impa's face. Eblen going for the choke late.
Kasangany looks like he's safe, but he's still not a good position to be in from a scoring perspective. And as you said, Chelsea, there's no real urgency from Impa this round.
Eblen's got himself into a very good position. You know, the fence is such an interesting component to this sport, by the way. It will always help one guy, it will always hinder one guy. But it all depends on the position. They can trade that fence back and forth.
A late surge here from Johnny Eblen with the right eye swollen shut. He is an undefeated mixed martial artist. Impa flaring away. To the final bell. What an incredible fight between these two monsters.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Ben Cartlidge scored this bout 29-28 for Eblen. Judge Mark Collett scored about 29-28 for Kasanganay. And Judge Mohammed Hadid scores about 29-28 for your winner via split decision, Johnny Eblen.
Johnny Eblen improves to 15-0 as a professional mixed martial artist. Stealing round number 3 with the pressure and the takedown. And obviously, 2 judges also gave him round number 1.
And you called it on a split decision. Hey, look, if the right decision, Johnny really did do enough to win that fight. You go back and watch it a couple times, that's the conclusion you would come to. But anything can happen. These judges are very on point tonight. I gotta give them credit. And let me also give credit to Johnny Eblen. Look at what he just achieved.
He gets the super belt. Pete Murray gives him the ring inside the belt. Mike Tyson wraps the belt around his shoulder. Chael, I need you to explain for me, because you said during the action, I think Impa just won round number 1. And you said after round number 2, I don't think Johnny earned enough to get round number 2 back. Now, we certainly won round number 3. But Chael Sonnen told me Impa won rounds 1 and 2, and then said, no, Johnny won this fight.
Yeah, I will admit that I wasn't bullish on it. So the way that the scoring is to go, in order, damage number 1, control number 2. Johnny had all sorts of control in the second round, but I gave damage, the first requirement, to Impa.
Dan Hardy is with the winner.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with your winner, Johnny Eblen, still undefeated, Bellator champ, the super champ as well. He's got the belt with the ring and everything. Tells me about that fight.
Hey man, it was a close fight. Second round, he caught me, and I had to fucking show up and be a champion. So, It is what it is, but sometimes you're gonna get knocked down in life, and you gotta fucking get back up and get back in there and fucking win it.
And in that second round where you were taking a few shots, what was going through your mind? Because you were trying to clear your head on the fence, it seemed.
Honestly, I was just surviving for a little bit. He caught me pretty good, so I was gathering my wits, and then I was back to dominating the fight.
And talk to me about this beautiful belt. It's got a ring on it. Have you ever had a belt with a ring before?
Never, and this is gonna hold a special place in my heart, man. This was a tough-ass fight. I'm in fucking Saudi Arabia. Thank you guys are amazing. And fighting in the middle of the desert outside, different time zone, man, this is crazy, bro. I can't believe I'm here right now.
Congratulations, my friend. That was a fantastic performance. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the super champ, Johnny Eblen!